Excuse me.
Come silent, please.
All points are good in the Premier League. Is that a particular good one today?
Yeah, I think so. I think they're on a tough run at the minute. They've rested, I presume, players against Tottenham. So they obviously, maybe thought this was a bigger game in a different way. You understand. And I thought they set about us early in the game. Brought the tempo on and tried to affect the game early. And I thought we withstood that pressure well, tactically from the team and the defensive unit. And then second half, that we grew into the game and we got stronger, which is really pleasing from a physical point of view because it's third game in the week. We've had to make changes in certain instances, but there's plenty of players there played them 3 games. And the overriding thing is 3 clean sheets and 7 points in a week in the Premier League. That's a great return. For us who are still learning, still improving, I think that's a fantastic return.
Probably the main talking point of the penalty.
Yeah, I think it's a tough one. I really do because I was a defender. I haven't seen any of the instance back, but I was a defender, and he's going to get the ball, and I think his legs are slightly unnatural position to get tangled up in him. And then I think it's more of a tangle than a foul. But it's a tough one. But I think that's a tangle of legs rather than a foul. He actually made a similar right decision, Stephen Defoe, when he was the big bruiser that he is, when he dealt with their centre half viciously. To try and scramble for the ball, and he made a very good decision, the ref, because it was just a coming together. There was no angle to it, and he didn't give a penalty. But I think it's a tough one. I see the referee. It's a tough one for me to give an opinion. From a distance, you can see why he's giving it, but then you look at it with detail and you go, that's a bit of an unnatural leg that goes out in between Tarkowski's legs, and in between's the key thing, because Tarkowski's in front of the play. So I think it's a tough one.
He's given away now, and it's probably been unfortunate.
Yeah, well, as long as you get them, then we'll take one that comes our way. But we haven't had too many.
Is that something he has to watch, Tarky?
No, you can't watch being unlucky. I think today he's going to defend the moment. You know what I mean? I don't think it's like a silly challenge. I think he's going to defend and get the ball, because Murray loses it, it gets away from him, he goes to get round him, and then his leg comes out in between his legs. So, it happens. It happens.
You've had a decision set now. This is Woody's tactic.
Well, yet again, I'm from a terrible angle, by the way, but I haven't seen him back. But, my analyst says it's a really tight decision. And then the second chance, Woody's a good chance, and their keeper makes a good save. So, yeah, very pleasing in different ways. I've had to fight first half, and then second half, find that bit more balance, a bit more attacking football. If the goal's given, hell of a passing move, to get from our box up to there. So I was really pleased with that. Some of the mixed play that we're finding has been really effective.
Some tight decisions selection-wise?
Yeah, definitely. We have got injuries, so some are obvious. But people are laying down good performances at the moment. And I did. It's funny you say that. Before I named the team on Friday, I did actually say to them the margins are super tight. Even though we've been winning, I said the margins are really, really tight. People coming in the side, delivering performances. But that's a great show for the squad mentality. And some of the ones who played 3 in a week, I thought their physicality was excellent again today, because I think Brighton went as hard as they could, and we more than matched that over the 90-odd minutes.
Even close in
the end? No, not for this one. Not for this one. We'll see how it settles down this week. It was, I thought it might be, but not in the end. The medical team said no. So we'll see how it settles down this week.
Burnley are in the process of going from a good Championship side to a stable Premier League side now. Do you think Brighton can aspire to what you're doing going forward?
I think they'll aspire to what they want. We're just a version of many teams that have gone up and then tried to, find a way of staying in there and look more like a Premier League side. And there's still work to be done. I know where we're at as a side, and I know there's still more to come. But there's no guarantees. You can look at some of the teams who are currently in awkward predicaments in the Premier League. Biggish clubs who have been around the Premier League for a long time. It's a really unforgiving league. Brighton had that really nice solid start, and now they're searching for results after, I don't know, is that 3 points in 7 or something? And that can happen. It can happen to anyone, by the way. Not so much the superpowers, we all know that. It's highly unlikely that they have them runs. But from anyone else, probably 6-ish sort of down, it can happen to anyone. And I include ourselves in that, because I've said many times, we're not the real deal. We're just a team. I think we've improved. I think we're moving forward again. But we don't take anything for granted. We've had to work for everything we've got today.
Did you come here today thinking that points could result then?
No, I come here to win. I never go anywhere going for a draw. Go to win. But after reflection on the game, then you go, would I take a point and a clean sheet at the back of 2 wins and 2 clean sheets? Absolutely. You've got to respect the opposition, by the way, in the Premier League. These have earned the right. I like Chris, I like his team. I think there's a good unit there. I think they really give a lot for the cause. There's a lot to like, you know, so they've earned the right, like any team in the Premier League. Some people say, oh, they're not this and they're not that. Not about Brighton, I mean other teams. When you're at pitch 11 and you see them, you think they're good sides. And I think these are a good side. So I'm really pleased with the point.
So do you think the problem you might get at some point is because you've managed to get so high up the table that people will say, oh, team in 4th place ought to be going to Brighton and winning, and the people on the outside you might...
God, that'd be an amazing shift, wouldn't it? Burnley, actually, people going, Burnley, they should be going there and winning. I don't think we're quite there. I said in the build-up of this game, we don't swagger into places. We haven't earned that yet. You know, we're just looking at building process, moving forwards. All games are tough games for us in the Premier League. You know, we have to work for every single thing we get. So no, there's no delusions of grandeur from what we're achieving. Okay, thank you. Cheers, safe journey for Chris and all the lads from up north.